Oh my god, I love this game. We are back again. It saddens me that there's only two more parts. This is super sad. Oh man, this is an amazing game. All right, so today, in this part, we are going to focus on the hero. So let's look at the bad endings. Hero. Ah, I forgot. The hero has like, I think they're tied for most. Yeah. Oof. Okay. This is. At least we got everyone else's, so at least it'll be easier to get the heroes' endings. Reminder, all the other parts are on my channel if you want to see the other characters' endings and origins, and even the hero. But, because I think I'm gonna skip through it. For the first one, I'll actually do the hero's intro. So, you are a hero, you like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Also, I'm very illiterate, so I will be stuttering a lot. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. The demon soldiers block your path. You can kill them to gain experience. So it doesn't actually, for this ending, it doesn't matter which one we do. We'll still get the bad end, but I'm just gonna kill him. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back toward the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact moment you're currently seeking to rescue. The exact maiden you're seeking to rescue. What did I even say? I know I didn't even say maiden. Jesus, I'm illiterate. You approach her with curiosity, and she runs from you for some reason. You wonder what that's all about, but then you remember you're covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like you're a crazy person chasing after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back to town. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise and you stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape the sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Wow, that one actually was very fast. That was very fast. Let's go see the other ones. We need to slay our way through them. Alright, so we have to slay these guys once again. Alright, and then we have to slay through these guys. You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She fies? Ignorance? Fies? What? I swear, some of these words I never even heard. Maybe I've been reading that wrong. Convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can see only one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You've cut her into pieces. The Overlord has fallen. Oh yeah! Oh, right, I forgot, since the underling was hungry, the underling just straight up ate the maiden, so the maiden never even showed up to the castle. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in her cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Failed hero end. Reset the stage. I didn't get a trophy for that one. Did I already get it done? No, let me check. Bystander. I didn't get a trophy for that ending. That was weird. Still got it done though. So we're gonna go back, but this time the maiden is actually gonna be there. And kill these guys. Kill these guys. Alright, so now I walked in the chamber and Overlord's quite mad because I just killed all of her people. Alright, ask the maiden what's going on. She explains that she came here on her own and was never in any danger. She hesitantly asks why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door to see her army in lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. Alright, we have to, be apologetic here. You hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. Once again, words I've never heard in my life. But I'm just illiterate. Oh god. She tears you apart, and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, you can't help but think you probably deserve this. Yeah, probably. Alright, reset the stage. I need to keep doing what I'm doing. Okay, if I skip, kill these guys, kill these guys. Alright, I'm sorry I didn't add this part because I keep hitting skip, but I think I'm not gonna skip anymore because I missed some key parts to people who haven't seen the last parts. So you find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord, just as you expected. But for some reason you can't sense anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Alright, so this is where we were before, but this time we actually have to destroy the Overlord. You lunge forward to put an end to the evil Overlord, but your blade pierces the maiden instead. She has sacrificed herself to protect this demon. It takes you a moment to recover from the shock. The Overlord wails. Why did you do that? I'm reading in such monotone. This is horrible. I don't know. I don't think I can get into character whenever I read. But very dramatic. Why did you do that? You're not sure if the question is directed at you. The Overlord strikes at you in vengeful rage. You parry as she is slain. Your sword feels heavy. You look at your hands, your clothes, blood. So much blood. You look to the fallen maiden, wondering what to tell the townspeople. Why would she protect the Overlord? She must have been brainwashed by demonic magic. Pick up the Overlord's head, wrapping it in your cape, and begin your long journey back to town. You will say that you were too late, that nothing could be done to the girl, but the Overlord is slain. There will be a celebration. Ooh! Ooh, okay, so it also changes on who you play, because for the Overlord, she actually killed the hero, but now the maiden just died for nothing since I was playing as the hero. Anyways, now we need to flee from the demons, let's not kill them, be diplomatic, but with a hungry underling. So, don't kill anyone. Oh no, flee like a coward. Alright. I think we already did this, okay. So, this is where you have to watch the first part, because this is whenever it happened. So, we have to be diplomatic. I'm gonna reread this since it's been a while. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down and you feel very uncomfortable. But they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever, at least that she knows of. You think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless hero. Wow. Yeah, so... Oh, that was actually very quick. Wow. Alright, so this time, the maiden is here. The Overlord and maiden seem to be in the middle of some normal... Oh, what the fuck? Restart. I'm gonna forget to cut this out, and that's gonna be embarrassing. The Overlord and maiden seem to be in the middle of some normal... Why do I keep saying normal? There's no word that says normal. It's casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Ask the maiden what's going on. Then it explains that she was never actually captured, and that she came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. But the Overlord objects this. The maiden tries to tell her that she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like these. You tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you'll have to assume she's evil. You'll be forced to vanquish her. You leave me no choice. I swear, always whenever it's the quotes, I go so monotone. Oh god. Wow, the Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You are helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible, you come all this way only to be met with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. Naive hero. Ah, wow. Alright. Alright, so after we fleed from the demons, we have to go here now. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all, this is your job. On the way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back to the village, but now that we fled, we don't have blood on us. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is like right there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. Alright, so we have to be trusting. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you, even though her story is kind of hard to believe. You feel you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about the demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They had all been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for an explanation. Politely inform them that this isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle in how they trust how little they trust the maiden's story. I swear, let's just move on. You totally believe her, but it's these words. I don't understand this word. What the fuck? What is that word? Hate being illiterate. These fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking about what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately and says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought
the two of you were going on this together? In this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her down and her demon friends down already. Hunt her and her demon friends down already. But that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's been up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden toward the Overlord's castle. You were too late. Through the unguarded gates you spot a group of demons surrounding a body. The maiden. She was a fool to have trusted the demons after all. Your hero blood is boiling. You'll avenge her death. You charge to the gates to eliminate every demon you see. Wow, what's the flippity flappers
are you doing, killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all demon kind. You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easily. You both dangerously low on health when everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky hero end. Reset the stage. Alright. So, hold on. I'm 20 minutes in recording. With all the cuts, I don't know, if I do all the true ends. If I do all the true ends in this video, it'll be an extra long video, but if I end here, it'll be an extra short video. This sucks, but I'm sorry. I'll do the true ends in the next video, and that will be the final part of Bad End Theater. There's not going to be any gap between the two, though. I can promise you guys that the week after this releases, it will be the end of the Bad End Theater series. I won't put any video in between them like I usually do. It's going to go straight from Hero to the last episode. But I really hope to see you guys there. And at the very end, I'm probably going to make a compilation. But that's going to be its whole separate video, and it'll be down the line. But, thank you guys for actually making it this far. My viewer retention is very low, so we're probably one of only 2 people to actually make it this far, and I thank you for that. See you in the next one.